Nynaeve starts the game with level 1 skill, level 2 Daystamar, and level 3 channeling. She's a reasonably complex character, and her toolset has a lot of moving parts, but if you can get the parts to line up in the right way, then Nynaeve is capable of dominating a game like nobody else. If you're looking for a character with a slightly steeper learning curve who never runs out of weaves, Nynaeve is your girl. Nynaeve's tier 1 quest, Village Wisdom, unlocks when she reaches Ebu Dar on the map. At this point, her hand size increases from 4 to 7, and she gains a base combat strength of 1. Her tier 1 ability, Listening to the Wind, allows her to once per turn discard a character card she reveals and flip a new one instead. Nynaeve's tier 2 quest, Breaking the Block, requires her to reach level 6 or higher channeling. At this point, her hand size increases to 8, and her base CS becomes 3. Her tier 2 ability, Healing Herbs, allows her to recruit characters from the discard pile. Nynaeve's tier 3 quest, Stilled No More, unlocks when she recruits a tier 2 or higher channeler from the discard pile. Her hand size increases to 9 and her base CS increases to 6. Her tier 3 ability, Seen It Once, lets Nynaeve replace any amount of card draws in a turn with weaves from the discard pile instead. Getting to Ebu Dar is priority number 1, if nothing else for the extra hand size it grants you. Beyond that, channeling 6 will be the next goal. It's actually fairly common for Nynaeve to hit her second tier ahead of the rest of the pack, and if you find yourself with plenty of weaves in hand, you may well end up with the channeling part done before you get to Ebu Dar. Once tier 2 is online, it can take a while to find a channeler to discard with her tier 1 ability, so you should flip tier 2 characters reasonably often to dig through the deck and try and get a channeler into the discard pile. Overall, Nynaeve isn't particularly reliant on characters, but there are a couple of off-colour actions that you can make great use of. Because of this, military and leadership followers always come at a premium. In particular, during the early game, you'll want to find a level 4 or higher leadership, as this will let you play an old treatise if you can find one. Military is less key to Nynaeve through the early to mid game, but picking up 1 or 2 high level military characters could provide a nice boost to her late game combat capabilities. Specific followers that make nice combinations with healing herbs are Arta Hawkwing, who you can keep recruiting back, and Elias, who can generate infinite free followers if you have Hopper already in party. Nynaeve is all about those weaves. Other attributes? Please, give me a handful of weaves and I'll be much more content knowing I can slam them all on the table than pick them up again on the next turn. The more different weaves are drawn or discarded over the course of the game, the larger Nynaeve's toolbox of potential answers gets. The most key of these tools in the mid-game is probably a gateway, but finding an Arrows of Fire or a Call Lightning is a huge boost at any stage of play. Even in the late game, these cheap and easy battle waves can provide an effective score when you keep compounding them together and redrawing them. If you're struggling to find a tier 2 follower, Bowl of the Winds, Old Treaties, or Guild Secrets can all solve the issue. Failing that, you can always kill somebody else's channeling follower and then recruit them from the discard pile. Shield is practically built for that purpose. If I had to name the 3 cards I would most like in my hand as an endgame Nynaeve, it would probably be a Gateway, a Death Gate, and a Blossoms of Fire. The ability to move anywhere, dig to find a fight by using a tier 1 ability, and take out pretty much anything when you find it is incredibly powerful, and these 2 battle cards alone generate a massive 28 combat strength when combined with your base combat strength. If able to recover quickly enough and redraw some of these weaves with a tier 3 ability before someone else manages to nab one of them, Nynaeve can just roll over Forsaken one after the other with a few turns downtime in between. Of course, you first have to find these cards, and sometimes it simply won't happen in time, but a solid Nynaeve game will always have a couple of battle weaves revealed and available for her to pick up, if not these big ones necessarily. Aside from the aforementioned combinations of powerful battle weaves, there are a few combinations that Nynaeve has the ability to make use of unlike any other. A successful Nynaeve game is always one that makes use of a tier 3 ability as much as possible, and finding the best way to utilise it is something you always want to keep in mind. Try and make sure you're next to a location with multiple actions when your tier 3 is likely to be available, and get as many weaves as possible out of the deck in the meantime. Jangai Pass is a fantastic location for digging out those weaves and can be a good place to bounce to and from when you're looking for a tier 2 channeling follower in the mid game, as well as when you have access to powerful tier 3 weaves like Blossoms and Deathgate. Keep in mind that you can combine the Void specifically with your tier 3 ability to draw battle weaves at the start of a fight, and know that sometimes it's the correct decision to use your tier 3 on a single powerful card from the discard pile, rather than waiting until you can get more at the same time. Another great trick if you already have a good hand is to look for a Forsaken at Belon. Dump all of your good weaves on the kill, and then use your tier 3 ability to pick them back up again with the Belon flag. There are some really funky ways to make use of seeing it once, if you put your mind to it. And that's all for this guide. What's your favourite strategy when playing as Nynaeve? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more 3rd Age character guides coming soon. For those who didn't know, you can download 3rd Age completely free right now on the Steam Workshop. All you have to do is go and find it in the Tabletop Simulator Community Workshop, and then hit the subscribe button that will look exactly like this. Once you're subscribed, the next time you load up Tabletop Simulator, you should see 3rd Age and be able to load it right up and get into the game. Don't forget to join our Discord server as well for more updates and to talk to other players in the community.